Today, we'll learn how to graft a peach tree. First, you need to gather your supplies: a clean knife, a pair of clippers, rubber bands, and a label and markers. Then, we go to the greenhouse to select a scion, which will be the donor or the top half of our graft. When we choose our scion, we're looking for a nice green branch, which is still a little tender on the end and firm and strong through the middle. This we will cut off the tree and prepare for grafting. The first thing we do with our branch is to cut off the leaves, because even though the branch has been removed from the tree, the leaves will continue to lose water, and we don't want our branch to dry out before we've had a chance to transplant the buds. You'll also cut off that bendy, tender end of the branch, because the buds on that end of the branch are too small to be useful. When you're done with that, cut the whole branch in half and stick both halves in water to preserve them for the next step of the grafting process. Next thing we'll do is find a rootstock, which will be the bottom half of the graft. There are many different types of rootstocks, like Guardian, which protects against a disease called PTSL, and P22, which comes from our own breeding program and has reddish leaves. The first thing you'll do to prepare your rootstock is cut off any of these extra branches. The rootstock is there for the roots only, and you should leave only enough leaves at the top to keep the tree alive. Next, we make our cuts in the rootstock. First, you go gently down and then across in a T shape. Not deep, just enough so you can peel away the bark. Very gently, don't put your knife inside more than you have to. And it'll look like this. Then you take your scion, top half, cut across like that, and then very carefully inwards, and be careful not to cut yourself here. Once you've made your cuts around the bud, use your fingernail to carefully peel off the bark with the bud, leaving the wood behind. The next thing you'll do is slide this bud into the T-cut that you made. Careful not to touch the inside of the bark because this could transmit diseases to your new cutting. Next, you'll grab your rubber bands and wrap it around the cutting to secure it in place. This can be as tight as you like, the tree won't mind, but be careful not to cover up the bud with the rubber band because that will prevent it from growing. When you get to the top, you can fasten it off to hold it in place. And now you have a finished graft. If you leave this in a sunny place, hopefully the graft will grow into a full-size tree. The rubber band will eventually fall off on its own. Not every graft will grow successfully, but after about a year, your graft may look like this, with the top half being the scion you added on, and the bottom half being the rootstock. Sometimes a rootstock may try to reassert itself by growing its own new branches. Here you can see that the rootstock has red leaves and it's easy to spot. You can just pull these branches off and the scion will continue to grow.